the same thing. And in the Articles of Confederation and in the Constitution, they're not.
That's a very good point. When I was at the Bundy Ranch, one of the things that the thing they were most concerned about was the violence that was being perpetrated against people. And that morning that they had the standoff later on in the day, that morning when Sheriff Gillespie showed up at the Bundy Ranch, Cliven Bundy said to him, I want you to confiscate the weapons of the BLM. I want you to open up these roadblocks into these areas because you are the one with jurisdiction. I'm going to wait a couple of hours for you to do this. And when he didn't do it, that's when he said, let's go get our cattle back, because the sheriff wasn't going to do anything. It's local law enforcement that has the jurisdiction. You're absolutely right, Sean.
If you don't mind, there's a famous case. It's called Barron versus the City of Baltimore. A lot of us believe we have constitutional rights. We don't. As men, we are above the Constitution and outside of it. The Constitution was written for the United States as a limitation on their power, not a grantor of ours. We have unalienable rights enumerated in the Declaration from the Creator. And as long as we don't harm anyone, there is no crime. They can't charge you with marijuana and stuff like that. I feel like when I did that, I didn't understand that. Cops don't understand that code is under the Uniform Commercial Code, and that laws and codes are two totally different things. They are not. A code is a private copyrighted list of codes and regulations for a particular jurisdiction, and it's only applicable to corporations, states, and attorneys.
Yes.
The Bar Association is not a license to practice law. We had a law for 100 years before the bar ever existed. The problem is that the American people have become completely ignorant as to who they are, and they're supposed to be above the government. We don't complain. As men and women, we file claims on their oath of office in breach of their fiduciary duty and in breach of their contract when they commit perjury, and we take their bonds from them. That's how you hold them accountable. We don't keep complaining and whining. Why do they keep doing this?
Absolutely.
We have to take their power away.
You're absolutely right. We have those rights from God, and we established the government and the Constitution to protect those rights, and they've turned this upside down. Sean, you're going to really enjoy the interview that we had with Greg Morse about this entire banking system. I mean, this thing is like the Iran-Contra, going from the very beginning where they break the chain of title all the way to the funding the black ops through the Swiss banks. That's a very important process, and one of the things that's very important about this interview and what Greg Morse is trying to do, and this is someone who was involved in the early days of the savings and loan crisis, and that is to force a review of this illegal operation that they're doing. They went in and these bankers completely changed the way we record and register our properties, broke the chain of titles with these new institutions that they created from 1995 to 1999. They created this crisis. They created these institutions. They've hoodwinked the public, and then they use that money to fund wars, to overthrow governments, to push the drug war, to put it into these black ops. That's an important thing for people to understand where their rights come from. If you want to audit the Fed, start with auditing your own mortgage. See what's going on with that. Thank you so much, Sean. I want to try to get some of these other people to comment, and I want to give Paul a chance to talk. Let's go to Jacob in Ohio, and I'll let Paul respond to his call. Go ahead, Jacob.
Yes, hi. I just recently turned 18, and I kind of did a shadow program with our local police station. And, well, basically, it was outrageous, some of the stuff that they taught me and some of the stuff they were teaching the other shadowers that drove around with the cops and that hung out in the police station. And, well, just any questions that you have for me about when I was in the program.
Well, so you're basically following them around like a career day, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, tell us one thing that was the most you said you were outraged by what happened. What was the most outrageous thing that you saw?
Well, one night, it was, I think, 9:15 at night. There was a group of, I think, 4 or 5 teenagers outside of a McDonald's, and one of them took off running. And they obviously were dealing drugs or something, and it turned out to be a dime bag of weed. I got out of the car and said, stop, and then Deputy Kane came out. He didn't shoot him, but he got the taser and shot I think he was a 15-year-old boy, shot him with a taser. And he sat there and, twitched out and literally
Well, we have a situation here in Texas, right outside of Austin, is down in Bastrop. They had a fight that was going on, and between a couple of people, a third party got between them, according to witnesses, and broke that up. And then you see a videotape of a cop just walking up and tasering that kid, not really assessing the situation, tasering him. He falls down on the concrete floor, brain damage, still in a coma, I believe. That's a lawsuit that's working its way through. So that's something. You shadowed the cops as part of your school program. I think that's an important thing for people to understand what's going on, to look at the rules that they're giving them, to engage the public, and have a real discussion about what appropriate use of force is. And I hear the music coming in. We've got to go to a break, but I'm going to come back and give Paul a chance to talk. Thank you so much, Jacob in Ohio. We're going to go to George in Connecticut right after the break. Stay with us.
This hour of GCN programming is proudly sponsored by BlockItPocket.com. Protect your privacy and data and render your phone or device completely undetectable. Go under the radar when your phone's not in use with BlockItPocket.com.
Hi, Ted Anderson with Midas Resources. Is it time to convert paper 401ks and IRAs to solid gold and silver yet? Get our 10 Reasons book free. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
This is an alert. If your business or church is building this year, you're about to pay more than you should. And this could mean thousands of dollars more for your office, retail space, church, or warehouse. A General Steel building can save you as much as half the cost and time of similar conventional construction. And we're offering rebates of up to $20,000 to help you build today. Call General Steel for free information that could save you thousands. Call 866-91-STEEL. 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
What looks good under your Christmas tree and tastes even better? Big Berkey water filters. Yes, the gift of clean water. A gift that provides a great foundation for achieving good health in the lives of your loved ones. A Big Berkey water filter gives them protection from bacteria, heavy metals, chlorine, fluoride, pesticides and herbicides, VOCs, and more. And best of all, a Big Berkey water filter is a gift that lasts for many years with no additional investment. And that saves time and money in filter replacements that other water filters require, and are even powerful enough to purify treated, untreated, or even stagnant pond water. As always, all orders over $50 are shipped free, and GCN listeners get 5% off all ceramic filter systems. Order online at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com, spelled Big, B-E-R-K-E-Y, waterfilters.com, or call 877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-B-E-R-K-E-Y. Gift well this Christmas. Give a Big Berkey water filter.
We've had an amazing year here at Supernatural Silver. We've truly enjoyed the fantastic response from thousands of people as they've tried our extraordinary product, and we're thrilled at the life-changing results people have. Our company email is continually full of happy, satisfied customers who thank us for the help they've received from Supernatural Silver. This holiday season, as you think of gifts to give your loved ones, consider giving Supernatural Silver, a gift that can help provide good health and wellness. A gift that can change lives and make a real difference. In a world where we are constantly exposed to dangerous health threats, give yourself and your loved ones a fighting chance. Give Supernatural Silver. Go to supernaturalsilver.com and use the promo code HOLIDAY2014 for 30% off. And this holiday season, we wish you and yours the blessings of peace and good health from all of us here at supernaturalsilver.com.
Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. I'm David Knight. I have Paul Joseph Watson in the UK, and we've been taking callers. George in Connecticut, I know you've been holding for a while. I want to get back to you in Overdrive and the other callers that are there. I've only got Paul for this one last segment, and I wanted to get his take on what Obama is proposing in the wake of these high-profile police violence cases. We've had him propose $263 million for body cameras. We see that Eric Holder says he can end racism with racist quotas. And now we've got a police chief that's going to chair the 21st Century Committee on chairing 21st Century Policing Task Force that has a real troubled past. This is a police chief who is the police chief of Philadelphia. He, on his watch, they say, and this is in the antimedia.org, they say a federal investigation into corruption was launched over conspiracy, robbery, extortion, kidnapping, and drug dealing. That's the guy you picked to chair your task force on 21st century policing. They say the Philadelphia police were also caught ignoring thousands of rape cases to keep their crime numbers low, what I talked about earlier in the program going on in the New York Police Department. And even though marijuana was decriminalized, he is still saying that he's going to continue to arrest people pursuant to Pennsylvania law, even though they decriminalized it there in Philadelphia. Paul, your reaction on Obama's solutions?
Well, of course, the body camera solution has been rendered completely invalid by this Eric Garner case, where the guy who filmed the choking death himself was indicted and the cop wasn't. So that's gone completely out of the window. That doesn't even matter anymore.
That's right.
As far as racist quotas, what are they going to arrest more white people to get the quotas up? I mean, what kind of solution is that?
Yeah, because we have these private prisons that are guaranteed to have a certain occupancy rate. So if they're going to arrest fewer black people, I guess we're going to have to get more of everybody else to fill up these prisons because we got this private prison military industrial complex.
Well, you know, there's some interesting stats that have just come out of the Center on Juvenile and Criminal Justice Department. In 2012, 123 blacks were killed by police with a gun. And in the same year, 326 whites were killed by police with a gun. So if you take out Hispanics from that white total, that is generally in coordination with the population of white and black people in America, including Hispanics. Whites are about 70% of the population, blacks are about 13%. So if those stats are accurate out of the Center on Juvenile and Criminal Justice Department, which says that police killings of blacks are down 70% in the last 50 years, then again, it emphasizes the point that this is not about race. This is about police brutality, which is what I've tried to emphasize all along, but that's what the social justice warriors are taking us away, the focus away from that, making it about white people and white privilege when it's about violence.
And of course, they can take this in any direction they want to avoid any kind of reform. We also, you're talking about how futile it is to say that body cameras are going to actually stop anything. We saw the murder of that homeless man outside of Albuquerque. We saw that on a body camera. We've seen the two recent shootings, one of a guy in Walmart, he was going to buy a BB gun. We saw that on video. He was shot by cops without warning. We saw a 12-year-old who had a BB gun shot by cops. We saw that on video, shot without warning. And in both of those cases, the amazing thing is, even though they were holding BB guns, people turned the direction onto the BB guns and said, well, we shouldn't even have toy guns because people are getting killed with toy guns, so let's ban the toy guns instead of addressing cops who show up on the scene shooting first.
Exactly, and in the case of the 12-year-old, I mean, he was shot instantly. There was no hesitation whatsoever.
Absolutely. He jumps out, and it was a rookie. That's what they're training the rookies to do. Thank you so much for joining us, Paul Joseph Watson from the UK. Stay with us right after the break. In Overdrive, we're going to take the people who've been holding on call, try to get as many of those as we can through. We'll be right back.
This is GCN, the Genesis Communications Radio Network.
Another major health threat, this one in Toledo, Ohio, where everybody in the entire city has been told not to drink the water.
Ohio's governor declaring a state of emergency.
Did you know that the average person uses about 80 to 100 gallons of water at home every single day? If there's a water emergency, will you be prepared?
Panicked residents forming long lines throughout the day.
We're here at a supermarket in Toledo. You can see the shelves empty where water once was.
To stay safe and healthy during a crisis, you must must have access to safe, clean water. Water which will not be available at your local grocery store.
There's a mad dash on right now to stock up on supplies.
The ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system is a must-have for every modern, independently minded household. Protect your family's safety during an emergency. Go to InfoWarsStore.com today to purchase your ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system or call 1-888-253-3139.